So what I'm going to show you today is how to change an engine air filter and a cabin air filter on a 2018 Honda CRV LX. But first, I'm going to show you how to find those products on the AutoZone website in this example. And the reason I'm going to show you this is because the last time I went to the dealership, I was quoted a price of $129.95 to change those two parts. And I went, oh, what? I got to figure out how to do this by myself. So I'm going to do this before my next oil change those two parts. So now I already have the AutoZone website on my screen. And I've already created an account for this. Here it is. There's my name. Now you got to enter the details for your car. My car is already on there, but here you can enter the details. Enter the year of your car. In my case, it's 2018. The make, it's a Honda. And the model, it's a CRV LX 2-wheel drive. And the engine, it's a 2.4 liter engine. So that's my car right there. Now you can enter the VIN or you can enter your license plate. I just entered this information right here. So that's that. Now, another thing is, okay, up here on this corner, I show my selected store just to see if they have the parts available. So you're going to go to the search engine and you're going to type in cabin air filter. And I already know from my shopping history, it's on here, what cabin air filter I use. But just for purposes of this example, if you're first looking for it, here's several of them. I just chose the first one that I saw here because in my case, it's got a 4.8 rating. It's an STP cabin air filter. It's only $19.99. It fits my vehicle as it shows here. Free in-store pickup in stock at the store that I've selected. I personally prefer to go in the store. I like to see people. I could order it online, but I don't want to do that to myself. But if you do this by yourself, these two things I'm going to show you, you're going to save like $90 in labor. Because right now I'll show you the other air filter. I think it's also $19.99. So that's $40. And I told you $129.95. You're going to save yourself like $90 of labor. And it's so easy to do. So this is at the store. So I'm going to pick it up. Go pick up that part. Now this is the one for my car. I mean, you can click on it and stuff and see, this is what it looks like. You can order it online if you want. I mean, sometimes that's better. So now let me go back. And now you're going to look up engine air filter. So here we go. I see this first one. It's got a 4.9 rating. It's also $19.99. It's this one right here. It fits my car. Free in-store pickup. It's also in stock. But it's funny, when I go to these stores, I've done this already before. I have changed the engine air filter and cabin air filter once in my car. And when I go to this store, it's like the only part there, only one. They only have one left. I'm always lucky. Like, oh, you guys were saving it for me or what? So anyways, it's available at my store and you can enlarge this. And here it is. Here's the engine air filter. Now, the last time I changed my engine air filter, it was so funny. I cleaned the housing of the engine air filter and there was a dead fly in there. I had to take out the dead fly. So you'll come upon stuff like that, just giving you a heads up right now. But this is how you look up stuff. You can use a store of your choice. I choose AutoZone. I love AutoZone. But I'm going to show you how to change those two parts. And on this particular vehicle, it's easy. There's other vehicles that's pretty hard to do. But I like to do this kind of stuff. I used to own a 2005 Pontiac Grand Am. And I learned how to change the engine air filter, but compared to the 2018 Honda CRV, the Honda CRV is so much easier to change the engine air filter. It's just 2 clamps, you pop them up, pop out the filter, put in the new one. The 2005 Pontiac Grand Am, that thing was hard. It had like 5 screws. You had to lift up the housings, swap out the filters, and to put the housing back on, that was hard to nudge it in. I also learned how to do how to change a trunk light on my Pontiac Grand Am. I love that car. I learned how to change the bulbs in the back part of my car, like the signal bulbs and stuff like that. And the last thing I did on that car was change the electrical circuit board on that car. It was like throwing good money on a bad piece of car, you know, because that car got phased out. They didn't have the parts anymore, the genuine parts. I had to buy an aftermarket auto part just for the power windows. And that was like, okay, I don't get a genuine part for this. This is ridiculous, you know? But I mean, I had that car for about 14 years. Come on, like they're gonna have the genuine parts, you know, and it got phased out. Hello. So, but yeah, the hardest thing I did was change the hardest part I did on that vehicle was change the electrical circuit board on that vehicle that houses the bulbs for that car. So now that I've shown you this, we're gonna head on out and I'm gonna show you how to change these parts on your Honda CRV LX if that's a car that you have. So that's that in a nutshell. So this is the engine air filter that I bought for my 2018 Honda CRV LX. It's an SA12259 from AutoZone, and it was only $19.99. And when I went into the store, it was so funny because once again, it was the last one, just like the last time. It's like they're waiting for me to buy this air filter. When you open the hood, the engine air filter is located on the right-hand side of the car. You'll notice that there is a silver clamp on each side of the filter. You'll need to unclamp each one of these to get access to the engine air filter. To change out the engine air filter, bring down the silver clamp on each side. Then you're going to lift up the casing to access the filter. Take out the old filter. As you can see, mine was very dirty. Look at that. It needed to be changed out. Now I'm going to get my new filter. So let me go get it. Okay, so now lift up the casing to insert the new filter into the housing. Once you insert it, make sure it is flush with the casing. Just want to make sure that it is secure in there. Now nudge in the casing to secure it properly. After you do that, bring up each clamp to close up the casing. And I like to make sure it's very secure in there. I get OCD when I do this, but in any event, just make sure it's all secure and that everything looks good. And that is all it takes to change out your engine air filter. Not much to it, just a little bit of time just to change it out. So now on to learning how to change out the cabin air filter. So this is a cabin air filter that I bought for my 2018 Honda CRV LX. It's a CAF 1873P filter from AutoZone, and it was only $19.99. First, open the glove compartment located inside of the car on the right-hand side in front of the passenger seat. First, pull the dampening arm to disconnect the glove box and then push it upwards. From there, you will then squeeze the sides of the glove box to release it. After you do this, you will then see the black plastic cover that houses the cabin air filter. Proceed to unclamp the black plastic cover that houses the cabin air filter. This is the black plastic cover that I just removed. Check it out. Then set the cover down. Then pull out the old cabin air filter with both hands. Much easier to remove using both hands. slide it out. Let's take a look at how dirty it is. Wow, this is really dirty. It has been there since 2022 when I last changed it. Then put it aside and proceed to putting in the new cabin air filter. Here is a brand new cabin air filter. As you can see, the cabin air filter shows two upwards arrows that show you in which direction to slide it back into its housing. It shows that the airflow will be upwards. Now slide in the new cabin air filter into its housing, making sure it goes all the way in. Then grab the black plastic cover and clamp it back where it goes, ensuring the clamps are in place. Then close the glove compartment by pulling out the dampening arm and clamping it back in place. You should hear it snap in. So make sure you hear that snap. Once it snaps in, you can close up the glove compartment.